brakes in the shed. It's only when you're using it. What's going on? We are out here doing some more tillage today. Carrying a tree with a root ball. Not a tree, a little bush. And that's why I'm out of breath. So we're out here on one of our north farms. This is the one we did a bunch of tile on last year. You can see, I will post a link to that video up above one of these sides, and you can check that video out and see where we did it. We went right up through this draw that's behind me. This was wet.
That's what she said.
Before, but now that it's got tile in it, we can get through it, and we're planning on planting right through that. So I'm running through it a few times with the tillage to get all the old weeds and grass and stuff out that's in there. So there's the outlet of the tile right there. It's just got a little drip going right now. So there is a little moisture out there, but when we put this in, it was running pretty heavy. And you can actually see there's water running down the little trench or creek here that we have going. And it looks like it comes out, it's just naturally flowing down that way. So there is water out here, and it's a good thing we got this tile that's taking care of it. So I have our new tillage piece set as aggressive as it'll go at 8 degrees angle. It is adjustable. We typically run, well, we've been running at 4 degrees to see how that works out in the field, but because there's a bunch of grass and stuff out here, I want to go a little more aggressive, make sure I cut stuff up and size it and get out what I can. But I'll show you what that looks like on the machine and show you what I mean by adjustable. So these are the blades, and it's in the ground right now. I just stopped, and you can see that there are different sections, and they are turned at an angle. So you can see where it is connected here, that's at an angle. So that whole bar turns, and if it was straight it would be 0 degrees, but right now we're sitting at 8 degrees, and that puts a little more angle on the blade, and you get a little deeper cut and a little more of a disc type of action. So that's what we're trying to do, flatten this stuff out a little bit and size it and get through it. Well, that's another day done. Dad got another field planted. We are moving up north to plant the corn up there. He's got the planter all loaded up here behind me, ready to go in the morning, and I've got another field ready for him to go into. So we're ahead on tillage. Not ahead, but right on pace, and tomorrow I'll probably go do another field so he can get ahead on that. But we're getting corn in the ground. It feels good to get something done and be out in the fields and moving around. We've probably got about 250 acres done in corn so far. So about a third of what we need to get done total on corn is done. And then we've probably got about the same amount of beans, about 700 or so. And yeah, so we'll keep at it.
2 days later.
What's going on, everybody? Jordan Scott here. Another Scott Family Farms video coming at you. Today it's Monday, and we should be planting corn. At least finishing up a custom some custom jobs that we do. However, on Saturday when Dad was driving to that field, he had a little issue. So I'm on my way to help him try and figure out what we're gonna do there. I'll show you guys what's going on and tell you why we're not planting corn right now, I guess. So when we get there, I'll let you know. Planting is going well so far. We haven't had very many issues except for this one that came up yesterday or Saturday.
Have a seat.
And we actually have all of our corn in. We're just finishing up a custom job that we do every other year. And so we just have that 140 acres of corn to plant. And that'll be all the corn this year that we'll plant. Then we'll have to switch out those plates to bean plates and then go over to beans. And as soon as we get beans in the ground, we got to get the sprayer ready because beans need to be sprayed within 3 days of being planted on the pre-emerge herbicide so that you don't kill the beans. So that's what's going on this week. We'll get to the planter here and see what's going on.
So you're telling me you can only give our guys 45 hours? That brings them to about there. Gentlemen, that's not acceptable.
Well, something's not right here, right? The rear wheel is off of the tractor here, and I'll show you why. So on Saturday, it was very hot out. It was 91, 92 degrees out, and we had been running all day. Dad just finished up a field, refilled with fuel, and was on his way to this field where he is now. And this is what happened. This is the fuel tank, and this is an issue. What happened was this fuel tank got hot, I imagine. I don't know for sure, but I think it got too hot, and then when Dad refilled it full, it's bulged out. There's not a lot of clearance here between where the wheel is, where I'm standing. I'm inside here because it's windy. There's not a lot of clearance between our new big wheels and this gas tank, and I think when it got hot, it expanded. When it's full, and the plastic gets a little more pliable, maybe, along with the rubber on the tires, might expand in the heat, and it just made for a situation where the tire was rubbing against the fuel tank and punctured a hole in it. So Dad's not here right now. I'm not sure where he is. I gotta call him and find out what's going on. Obviously the wheel is off, and so we can get access to this spot. Not sure what's gonna have to happen here, if we're gonna patch it or have to get a whole new fuel tank. I don't know, but I'll keep you posted.
We have to turn off the radars, cabin heater, instrument displays, the guidance computer, the whole smack.
Whoa, guidance computer? What if they need to do another burn? Gene, they won't even know which way they're pointed.
The more time we talk down here, the more juice they waste up there. I've been looking at the data for the past hour.
Well, I think what we're gonna try and do is patch that hole and see if we can't make it through.
I want this mark all the way back to Earth with time to spare.
The Case dealership does not have a fuel tank just sitting around. That would be pretty rare to have that tractor's fuel tank sitting there, or any really. So I'm sure we'll be ordering one and putting it on, and maybe after planting, if we can get this patched correctly. Maybe move that tire out so there's more of a taper so it doesn't rub. you know, we've had these tires on for over a year and haven't had an issue. I think it was just a combination of the full fuel tank, the heat, and the bouncing of going down the road with a big load on. So we should be able to get this patched and going. Dad's getting some epoxy and some sort of trying to find a solution over at the dealership. So once we get that going, we'll get it on there and see what we can come up with.
Failure is not an option.
This is pretty typical for farmers to have to deal with. Not this issue particularly, but having something break or go wrong on your equipment. When you run equipment, it's gonna break. It doesn't matter what color it is. I know I say a lot of stuff about green stuff because we're red, and red stuff breaks too, but not as bad usually.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
As farmers, we have to deal with issues that come up, and it's always something different, it seems like. So you got to get creative and make stuff work, and sometimes you don't have the right piece or the right tools right away, so you got to do a little problem solving and figure it out and make stuff work. But that's one thing I really like about farming, is it's not the breaking down stuff. That's never fun. But the something different all the time, and it keeps your mind sharp, because it has to be. You have to adjust and find something that works, and the problem solving is something I like. And I don't know, it's just fun for me. Some people would be super stressed out and pulling their hair out, but it happens. You might as well just accept that you're going to break stuff when you run equipment. So
they said it was a panic attack. Of course, all the blood work and the neurological work came back negative.
When it does happen, yeah, I was frustrated the other day too, and I'm sure Dad was not real happy. But it happened. We gotta fix it and move on. There's no reason to get all worked up and have bad attitudes the rest of the month or the week or whatever. But that's what we're up to. Dad's getting parts, like I said, and when he gets back, I'll head out back to the tractor and we'll see what we can get done.
How are you feeling now?
Good. Fine. Back at work.
Whew, it is windy out there today. So we got the tire back on, as you can see. What we ended up doing was actually moving that tire out, moved the hub out about 6 inches or so. So that tire on the right side of the tractor is actually out another 6 inches. The tires are kind of at an angle. They come to a point and in the middle, so we thought moving it out will take that away from the gas tank a little bit, give us a little more room there. Looks like it's done that. Thanks to Manly Tire again for coming out and saving us on that. That tire's huge. Obviously we couldn't move it with just Dad and I.
I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
Puny god.
We would need a lot of tools that we don't have, so thanks to Manly again for coming out with their crane truck and getting that done for us. It's a big help. They do really good work. The guy that was out here was obviously had done that before, and it shows. So it pays to have the right help.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
So now we are gonna, the tank still has a hole in it, but we have some tape that we use for drainage tile that's waterproof, that we taped around. It's not a great fix, but it's about our only option at this point.
So remember, if women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy.
Besides waiting for a new tank, and who knows how long that'll be. I think Dad was over at the dealership and maybe got one coming, but hopefully that'll hold, and we're only going to fill the tank 3/4 full so it doesn't get to that point. So those tires, the front and rear tires, are actually the same width. So now that we moved that one out a little bit, it's going to have a little different pattern. But we'll see how that works, see if it affects anything. It might change our turning radius on one side. I'm not sure. Anyway, we got that ready to go. We're off to get some more seed to finish up our corn, and then that'll be all for corn. All right, we got seed on, we got our fertilizer on. I'm actually at the fertilizer tank here. Little mobile tank, pretty handy. Pulled it right out to the field, and Dad's about to take off and start this field. This is a custom piece that we do for a guy that lives out in California. We do it every other year, and this is our year, of course. So we're out here. This is the last corn we got to plant this year, and then we'll move on to beans. What's happening? It's a nice, beautiful day out here today on Scott Family Farms.
Beautiful.
That is our seed tender, where we put the beans in before they go into the planter so we can store them and move them around. Today I'm doing more tillage in front of Dad for soybeans. He is planting soybeans just over here behind our house, and I got to get out in front of him, get some more ground ready so he can keep going. And then I got to get the sprayer out and the water tank and get that all ready to go. Soybeans you got to spray pretty early and get your pre-emerge herbicide on so that it stops any weeds from starting and growing. And it's supposed to rain on Saturday. Today is Thursday, so we want to get what we have planted covered. When your pre-emerge herbicide gets rained on, it activates the chemical and makes it effective so that it will kill the weeds or prevent them from coming. So that's what we're up to today. I'm going to fill up the cat and get going here.